might try an alternate approach. And I'm building on an article in Moment magazine from a number of years ago. And here's how the approach works. The title of that article goes like this: if it looks like a banana, it may just be a banana. All right, here's the setting. You're permitted only to reach into a box and touch the object that's in the box. Now this object is fairly smooth and somewhat rubbery to the touch. It's maybe 8 inches long. It's curved, a couple inches in diameter, at its center and tapered at either end. It feels like a banana, but you can't be sure. Now, you put your nose to the box's small opening. Take a sniff. It smells like a banana. And then you open the box, and as you look directly at the fruit, guess what? It could still be a fake, just textured plastic laced with what we would call faux banana scent. But by now you're pretty sure. And so you're not at all surprised when you take that yellow object out of the box, peel away its skin, and you find just what you expected, a banana. But even now you haven't really proven it to be a banana. But what we might call banana-ness is certainly a very reasonable conclusion. Because please remember, as we began the course, outside the realm of mathematics, most of what we place our trust in, and even stake our lives on, is precisely just such reasonability or probability. Now, as the author of that article went to point out, the banana experiment is a useful model for an objective assessment of the viability and veracity of the essential element of the Jewish religious tradition, namely the divine origin and nature of the Torah. So now, as you can tell, we've moved into a different way of looking at the reliability of the Old Testament. So let's go bananas. Now, the divine origin and nature of the Torah. This is a concept routinely and perhaps astoundingly unexplored by many, and yet assumed to be an article of blind faith by others. But unthinking and unexamined acceptance of fundamental religious concepts, and I'm quoting now the author of the article, unthinking and unexamined acceptance of fundamental religious concepts is a Christian, not a Jewish concept. Remember, the Jewish word, usually translated as faith, emunah, means affirmation of fact, not naive, unquestioned acceptance, because the primary contentions claimed as fact by Judaism are demonstrably reasonable, end quote. Strikingly put, you say. But we already talked about that or something similar earlier on in the course. So, if you'll allow me, permit me to submit to the court several exhibits. Exhibit A, the sound of historical silence. That sounds almost lyrical. Take the starting point of the Torah itself, namely its revelation at Mount Sinai. Look, nowhere in the annals of world religions is there a parallel to the Jewish historical claim to a mass revelation from God, one which took place in the presence of all Jews alive at the time, perhaps a couple million strong. Recall that Islam is mediated only by Muhammad, Mormonism solely by Joseph Smith, and so on down the line. Now, while Jewish tradition does have Moses acting as an intermediary between God and the Jews, that role as the transmitter of revelation begins only after God directly addresses the Jewish people as a whole, who experience his communication as a whole. Exodus 19 and 20, at the foot of the mountain. And that's reinforced then by the Shekinah, or the presence of God, and the experience found within the tabernacle or Mishkan, and then the honeymoon experience through the wilderness. It was a community-wide experience. And friends, that is not a minor point, because every faith is only as compelling as the individual at its beginning, and any individual's claim to divine communication is only as strong as its weakest link, namely his or her own credibility.